Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of Try Hard Racing with me, Rollcase TV, where I continue to do the best I can with what I've got, which is not a lot of talent, but a whole lot of road rage. No, I don't have road rage. I've never been a road rage person. I have, my story with road rage is if I've been driving a car with a passenger, like someone I'm dating or something like that, I will usually, the passenger will be like, oh, that guy did, so and so. I can't believe he did that. And my initial reaction is always, maybe I was the jerk. No, actually, dear, I think I was the jerk in this case. I don't really think it was their fault. Oh, look at this. Every segment, they split up the longer one, which means I don't have any 3 short stages, which means I have to do medium tires the whole way through. Oh, well. Okay, let's do the repairs. I'm actually not a bad driver. I'm a good defensive driver, but occasionally when I was younger, I might not have, I might have started through a stop sign before the other person, when the other person may have had the right of way, and I said, "Oh, he almost hit you." And I said, "Yeah, actually, I think it was his turn." Anyway, those stop sign laws are tricky. What is this? This shows me my... Oh, it doesn't show me here. It showed my order of whatever, but I'm in a club. There is no order. Okay, let's get started.
Starts 34 left long.
This is the Try Hard Racing Club. In Twitch chat, you can type !club to get a direct link to the club, which I have just done. If you're watching on YouTube, you can go into the YouTube description, the doobly-doo as they call it. Join the club.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
It is basically a replacement, my idea of a replacement for the official Dirt Club. At least the last couple seasons of the official Dirt Club, which they did not renew for 2025, not terribly surprising. Being that the game is, at least they're still supporting clubs. Which is a little surprising for Electronic Arts, because they're kind of infamous for not supporting old versions of their game.
Into 6 left, very long, tightens 4 of a crest, 60.
But Electronic Arts bought out Codemasters well after this game came out.
Keep left of a crest, jump.
But I'm enjoying it while I can. While they still have the servers open.
6 right long of a crest, 40. Caution, 3 left of a crest. Into caution, 3 right. Opens 6 long.
I think I play Grid Legends every... I play this game the first Saturday of every month.
6 right of a crest.
Play the club, chop it up, stretch it, weekly YouTube episodes. But the rest of the Saturdays of the month, I play a different racing game, and right now I'm playing Dirt Rally, or no, playing Grid Legends.
Middle of a crest, 60. 5 right, very long.
And
6 extra long, tightens.
Which was maybe the last Codemasters game.
Into 6 left of a
made
crest.
Before Electronic Arts bought them, although I think it is released with Electronic Arts. Was released with the Electronic Arts
Keep middle of a crest, 80.
Logo on it.
6 right of a 2 jumps, opens extra long.
But it was
crest,
already completed
tightens.
before they bought it.
Into caution.
The same might be said for F1 2021. I'm not sure.
Crest and jump and 6 left of a
I know
crest,
they're terrible
50,
with their yearly subscription games, which is what I call it, because
turn,
every
5
year
right of a junction,
they
60,
change nothing but the
left long of a
data,
crest,
and
and
yet they
jump,
make you pay
60,
you know, $60 to $100 every year for essentially the
5
same
right,
game.
tightens 3 of a crest,
But it is 2025,
Opens,
so
70.
I usually buy F1 and
6 left of a
MotoGP,
caution,
which
tightens
is
3 of a
that's
crest,
2K, which is another company that does it.
80, keep
But
right of a crest,
the
and
thing
jump,
about Electronic Arts
into
is,
6 right of a crest, 100,
like, once, say, Madden Football
6
has
left
been
of a
out for
crest,
6
jump,
months.
150,
Madden Football 25 has been out for a few months.
6 right of a crest,
Madden Football
50,
24 is no longer available, so if you want to get them all, you got to
left of a
buy them
jump,
soon.
opens, into 6 right of a jump, 80,
So you got to pay your
caution, 4 right, tightens of a
I mean, they
crest,
still leave the servers open for a while,
into
so you
6
can
left
do
long,
multiplayer,
tightens
but
4,
you can't buy it.
50,
If you want to get every year, you gotta spend that $100
of
a
a
year
crest,
for Madden
jump,
Football,
70,
or 60 plus for
right of a crest,
F1.
jump,
Now,
100,
to be fair, Codemasters, the maker of this
middle of
game,
a jump,
also
160,
had yearly
slow, keep
subscriptions
middle of a
for
crest, 30, turn,
F1,
1
which
left,
is to say
tightens,
they would make earlier versions obsolete.
middle
You
of a
know, they
long
would try to
flat
sell you a
crest.
new version every year with
Keep
almost
left
no
of a
actual
60,
changes other than the data.
middle of a jump, and 6 left tightens,
But they wouldn't
100.
like take it off the market that
4 right
fast.
long,
Electronic
120,
Arts does. But that's the only reason Electronic Arts bought
6 left of a crest,
Codemasters.
jump,
I don't think that Electronic Arts would have paid as much money for
140,
Codemasters as
6
they
left
did
of a crest,
if their only product
caution
was
slow,
like
4 right long of a crest,
Dirt
40,
Rally
turn
2.
unseen, hairpin left,
or Dirt Rally 3, which was in production. But
80, black crest,
they spent the
60,
money for the official WRC
4 right of a
license.
crest long, tightens,
And I was worried that WRC was going to do the same thing. That they were going to have WRC 23
6 left, 40,
and WRC
left of a
24,
crest long,
etc. And I
50.
said, people said, "Oh, are you going to buy the new game?" I said, "Not if it's
Six
WRC
right.
23. I'll buy it in
To keep
25
middle of a
because I only
crest,
buy those
70,
subscription games every
last
5 years."
junction, keep right of a jump,
But it turned out they did the right thing.
into
at
6
least so
left, tightens,
far.
5,
They just called it WRC,
60.
and then they had a
6 right.
2023 season, and then you could buy a 2024 season for less money than a whole brand new
tightens of
game.
a crest,
People were complaining it was like $20 for the new season of WRC,
80,
or whatever the price was. I go, yeah, it's better than the
60,
$60-$70 for
caution,
to buy a whole game,
tightens
a
of
brand new
crest,
game
80,
every year.
5 right of a crest, opens,
And they're like,
keep
yeah, I
middle
guess,
of a crest,
I guess you're right.
into 5
It
left,
was that. Could have been worse. I
and
mean, you do still
6
have to
right,
pay the
opens, keep middle of a big jump,
developers and stuff. There are still costs. I don't mind buying DLC for the next year.
into 6
I
left,
just resent
very long,
having to buy an
tightens,
entire
5
new
of a
game
crest,
for the next year.
150,
Especially when Electronic Arts
35
comes in
left of
and
a
they
crest,
replace
30,
Codemasters
4 right of a dip,
engine
opens, 6,
programmers with
extra long of a crest,
the real engine,
to keep
or the,
middle of a
sorry,
jump,
the Unreal Engine.
50,
Because I'm
jump.
sure they pay. I'm sure the
keep
license
middle
to
of a jump,
Unreal
into
they
6
already
left,
had
tightens of a crest
is,
long, and
you know,
5 right,
a
tightens
super
long,
discounted rate, and even combined with the licensing charge
50.
Unreal charges them,
5 left
they
of a
can.
double crest,
That's going to be cheaper
100,
than paying programmers
keep
to
left of a crest,
actually
into 4
maintain
left,
their own engine.
opens of a crest,
They do have to hire people to tweak
200,
the Unreal Engine. You know, it doesn't come out of the box.
Of a
with,
box.
oh, here's a racing game
keep right of a jump,
component. You know, they have to.
into 6 right long,
They have to tweak
tightens
it.
5,
But
extra
those
long,
people, I'm
of
sure,
a
they
crest,
pay a lot less than the
junction,
actual programmers. So.
50, keep middle of a big jump, 30,
So, yeah.
6 right tightens, 5 left, very long of a crest,
Electronic
opens
Arts
and
is
tightens
saving
of
a lot of
crest,
development costs
caution,
by
50,
buying
6 right long,
Codemasters and
tightens,
changing
3
engine
of a
around.
crest, 60.
But I think they must have decided that, you know,
Into 3 left.
the market is not
6
big enough for
long.
rally racing games. People are not going to buy a brand new game every year. So maybe
Middle of a
we should
crest.
go with
Into 6
the
right of a jump.
DLC
Into 6 left long.
season
Jumps.
model, which a lot of
50.
games use nowadays.
5 left of a crest. 70.
You know, there are still games that are free to play, but then you have to pay
6
for
extra long
season
of a crest.
of whatever.
60.
I don't think that's a great model for them.
6
to
left
be
of a
honest,
jump.
though.
50.
A
Caution. 4 left of a crest.
program really has to take off, and it has to really, the free-to-play version has to be really
5
bad.
left of a big crest.
for them to make
60.
money.
Bump into 4 right of a crest.
It's like a free-to-play. It's not that's usually not loaded with ads. It's like a free-to-play mobile game
Opens of a jump.
that has
60.
a whole
6
bunch of
right of a
ads,
crest.
and if you
Opens
watch
long
the
of a jump,
ads,
maybe.
you
Keep
can
right
get,
of 80.
you know, 1 coin per ad you watch.
6 left long.
And if you want
right
to
at
upgrade
5 of a
your
crest.
character's armor, it costs
150.
8 million coins.
6 right, keep
But
in
you
of a
can
crest.
get 8
Jump.
million coins if you
Opens
pay
long to keep middle of
for a
big
coin
jump.
pack.
And keep
it's
left
the
of a
same, of
crest.
course, with
And
like
6 left, very long of a crest.
Yesto and
Titans
whatever.
4 of a crest. 100.
paying for the
Right of a
stint
crest.
packs, whatever,
Opens
paying for the, I don't know what they're
200.
called.
Over bumps. Caution.
You pay for the
Nearly 5 left
upgraded
of a crest.
weapons and stuff. So you can be successful. Now that's pay to win.
150. Over bumps.
There have been people that have played
6 right long.
mobile games that spent thousands and
finish.
thousands of dollars, and I've seen interviews for them. Tens of thousands
80.
of dollars so that they can
stop.
be,
Well
so they
done.
can win this tower defense game, you know. I play SnowRunner on Sundays, and I do have all the DLC for that. And people have said, man, that vehicle you got, that's like a pay-to-win vehicle. But there's nothing to win in SnowRunner. You can play multiplayer, but you can only play cooperative multiplayer. It's a PvE game. It's not a PvP game. It's player versus the environment, if you know. And the external DLC is kind of expensive. You might pay $2 to $4 for a single vehicle, and most of them are not worth it. But I got a big,
5, 4,
I got a big discount on the game.
1, go.
I got like the
Middle of
3rd
a
anniversary
jump.
edition,
100.
half
Right of a
off for like
crest and
$50 or
6
something
left
for
of a
3
crest
years
long.
worth of
Opens
seasons.
of a crest. 100.
And so I spent the money I saved,
Opens
which
of a
was
crest.
over
To keep
$50,
middle of a jump. To keep
and,
middle of a crest.
on the
and flat
DLC.
left.
So I ended up
50.
breaking even. I mean, obviously, if I hadn't bought the DLC, I would have saved $50. This way, I didn't save
Keep middle of
$50.
a jump.
But I had the
120.
Microsoft Bang Point
Flat
saved
right.
up, so
To keep middle of a jump. To keep middle of a big jump. And 6 left long.
But yeah,
past
the
house.
one vehicle in
50.
that, the Mastodon, I would have probably
Keep
stopped
middle of a
playing
jump. To keep middle of a
SnowRunner
big jump.
if it wasn't for buying that vehicle.
150.
I was getting so frustrated trying to play with the
Okay,
vehicles
5
that
left
come
of
in
a
the
crest,
game,
Titans 4 long.
tipping over continuously, trying to rescue it with another vehicle that comes in the game, and
Crest,
tipping
and
both of them
4 left,
over.
Very long. Opens of a crest. And
So,
4 right of a crest.
yeah.
Opens 6. Extra
Now that I've
long,
got the Mastodon,
narrow.
in fact, I bought in the game, once you unlock and you buy
And
more, I
6
bought a
left
second
long.
one, so.
Opens of a jump. 150.
But if you're interested in SnowRunner, it's on my YouTube channel.
Slow. Keep
One of my
middle,
featured
jump
games,
into 3 right
SnowRunner,
long.
and also
Opens 40.
there's a separate section for SnowRunner, like there is for Dirt Runner
4 left.
seasons. There's a
Opens
separate
6.
section for each region
Extra
of
long.
SnowRunner. You scroll down
40.
farther on my homepage on YouTube.
right of a
Those
jump,
you watching
maybe,
on
and
Twitch, I would
three
say
right of
you
a
can
crest.
also watch the highlights, but Twitch
Opens
has changed
and
their
crest.
highlights so that you can
Six
only,
left of a crest, jump.
you can't store
Into six right
a
long of a
huge number of
crest.
highlights because people who are abusing the system, like me,
30. Early six
and
left long of a crest.
highlights
Opens
don't
of a
have, they don't
crest.
run commercials on
50.
highlights or VODs.
Right of a dip.
And they were making no money on highlights,
Left
and they
of
were
a
spending a
crest,
bunch of
jump.
money because
80.
0.5%
Keep middle of a jump.
they said, or
Into six right long.
0.05% of the people
Opens. Keep middle of a crest.
have less
care.
than 100. They
Left.
limited you to 100 hours of highlights and
To keep right of a
uploads.
crest
So
into
clips
sudden.
are still
Three left.
unlimited.
Opens six.
And their idea was that
extra long
highlights
of
are
a
going to drive
crest.
people to
50.
watch the streams, and we'll send them ads and they'll make more money. And yeah, that didn't happen.
Five right long.
And they didn't really.
Into
Not
six
enough
left of a
people were
crest.
watching the
50.
highlights to justify like putting ads on the
Six right
highlights,
of a
so
crest
they
long.
just said no.
Six left of a crest.
You can
Keep right of a
you can
60.
while the
crest
VOD
and
is
six
still there, the
left.
VOD's expired.
Into six right.
So while the VOD is still there, you can go ahead and make highlights. You can upload short videos, but you can't have
Into
more
six
than
left of a
100
crest. 50.
hours of highlights
Keep
or
middle of a
videos.
jump.
So,
Into six right.
and I
extra
had
long
at the
bumps
time
times three.
like 2,000 hours of of highlights. Because I
six
make
left
highlights
of a
and
crest,
export on
extra,
YouTube, and I just
extra
didn't
long.
bother to delete the highlights.
50. Keep middle of a
Like,
jump.
oops, I think
and
I'm one of the
six
people that
right.
ruined it for everyone.
60. Six left of a
So
crest.
I have
jump.
you cannot make new highlights until you
Left
put
of a
out.
crest.
After
Opens.
they gave you a 2-month
right to
warning,
80.
right? And after the 2-month
Left of
warning
a crest
period,
long. 80.
they will start deleting highlights on their own via aging. You know, they will
Right
age
to the
out
crest.
and they will delete them.
80.
So, you know, after you start to fill up, they'll start deleting them.
Right left
old
long.
ones.
Opens of a crest. 30.
But they didn't want to
Four right.
immediately
tightens three.
start deleting ones on
Opens
their own
40.
because maybe you want to save an old highlight,
Four right.
which kind of makes
80.
sense. But they also
Left of a
didn't
crest.
let you add new highlights until you deleted enough highlights to get you under
Four right. Tightens of a dip.
under 100 hours. So I was stuck there
Finish.
going to make new highlights
Six
so I
left
could
of a
chop
crest.
stuff up on
to
YouTube.
stop.
Suddenly found out I could no longer make the highlights to make the YouTube episodes until I sat there and deleted 1,900 hours of videos of highlights. And they don't make that easy because you can sort them by date and just say, okay, I want to filter by highlights, sort them by date, ascending or whatever it is, so you see the older ones first. Then you can select the entire page and delete the entire page, which is cool, except for two things. One, you can't increase the number of items on a page. You can't say, okay, I want to see 100 items, and I want to delete, 100, the 100 oldest ones. The number of items they have on the page is 20. So you have to delete, and my videos are close to an hour long, so that means 100 hours, 18, I had to delete a lot of pages. I'm not going to try to figure it out right now. 5 times, yeah, a lot of, many pages, like 100 pages or something. Anyway, but to make matters worse, the web interface at that time, maybe it's been fixed now, is currently buggy, and that you would delete one page, you could delete a second page, but then by the time you got to like the 4th or 5th page, it would stop advancing the counter, it would get confused, and you'd end up deleting the same page over and over again. So you're actually not doing any good, because it's still highlighting the same page of stuff that you had before. And so you can kind of advance the page and delete more, but you can't see which ones you're deleting, and then that would start to get screwed up. And the only way to rectify it all was to reload the web page. but
left 80,
they don't have
flat
your
crest,
configuration options saved in the URL.
into 6 right long,
Or in
tightens
cookies
5 over
anyway.
crest,
So every time you reload the page,
60,
it resets your filter and sort,
caution, 6 left,
items.
extra long, tightens 3
which
over crest,
means
50, flat crest,
it
jump,
resets it back
into
to
4
all
right over
videos,
crest,
including
open
the
6,
streams, sorted
very
by
long over
most
crest,
recent first. So it's real easy
flat
to
jump,
accidentally
50,
delete
flat left
your
over jump,
VOD for the
30,
stream
5 left over jump,
because you resort the page. If you're not paying attention, oops, I just
150,
deleted the last
5 right long
20
over crest,
VODs I had, which
100 over
I
bumps,
haven't split up for highlights yet.
crest, and 6 left long over crest.
Now, I luckily, I did accidentally delete a VOD, but luckily it was one that I had already split up in the highlights.
100 over crest, flat right over crest, jump, into caution, 50, 4 left over crest,
Yeah, I did it
80,
accidentally. I don't,
right
it
over
wasn't
jump,
necessarily, but
150,
having them resort things did confuse me, but I didn't just highlight
right
the
over
whole
jump,
page and delete it all. I was trying to do
100,
something else with it and ended up, I wanted to delete
jump,
something else and
into
ended up
6
deleting
left,
that
extra long, tightens over
in
jumps,
my
50,
confusion and frustration, but it was my fault, not their fault. So it was a lot of work. Delete
right
2
over crest,
pages,
opens
reload,
6,
rechange the
extra
filters
long,
and sorts, verify that the filters and sorts
keep
actually
right
took
over jump,
effect, double check, triple check,
left over jump,
highlight the page, delete,
to keep
highlight the
middle
next
of a
page,
crest,
delete,
into 5 right, tightens 3,
reload the
cross
page,
junction,
reset
opens
all
of a
the
crest,
sorts and filters,
60,
double check all the sorts and filters,
6 left, tightens 3 of a
mark the
crest,
20
opens 50,
on the page, delete it, mark, verify that it's still advanced to the second 20, advance, delete the 20,
6 right long of a crest,
reload the page. I mean, it was just like that. I had to do that, you know, 100 times or whatever it
middle of
was,
a big jump, 30,
or more. Let's see,
6 left long,
2,000
opens of a crest, a jump, 60,
2,000 hours, 20 per page. Yeah, that's 100 pages I had to delete.
big jump, 200, 6 right, tightens 4, keep in,
But I got it done. I was able to,
opens 30,
I was able
right of a
to
jump,
make the
80,
highlights of the videos before
right
my
of a jump,
deadline.
50, 5 left, opens 6 over crests,
Make the highlights of the stream VODs.
flat right of a crest, 50,
The alternative is to download
to
the
jump,
entire stream
50,
onto my tablet and try to
left
edit
of a
it that
jump,
way.
opens
And
long
my
of a crest,
Sunday streams are 6 hours, and it's a real pain to try to edit a 6-hour
70,
1080p video
6 right of a crest,
on a tablet, downloading it. I mean, I got a pretty
5
quick
right of a crest,
download
jump, and flat left,
internet, but then uploading it. And it's by Wi-Fi on my tablet, so I have to upload it by
keep
Wi-Fi.
middle of a
I
jump.
stream on the hardwire,
into 6 left, and
but
6 right long,
and
opens of a
takes a
jump,
while to upload, and it
to
takes a
4
while
left
for
of a
YouTube,
crest,
and it takes a long
50.
time to re-render it,
4 right of a crest,
and then YouTube has to reprocess
6 left
it.
long,
So it's
tightens
much
4
easier
of
to
a
make the
crest,
highlight on Twitch and then
50.
export it directly server to server,
5 right,
and it takes up a
tightens
lot
of a
less
crest,
space.
200,
I've got plenty of space on my
5 left, 50,
SD card, but it still exports the video
6 right.
onto the internal
40, 6
drive
left
on
of
the
a jump,
tablet,
50,
which kind of drives me crazy.
to stop. Well done.
I have to move it over manually, but if it's too long, it takes up so much space on the tablet. And I've got so much space being used up on my tablet by stuff I don't understand. I've searched for like large directories and everything. To be honest, I think it's Outlook. I think Outlook is saving like all of my email. I've got so much inbox stuff I get spammed all the time. I almost never look at my inbox anymore. So I gotta go through that. That's like 6.1 gigabytes of user data on Outlook, which is saved on the internal drive. Maybe I can configure it to save that stuff. Save that stuff on the SD card. I don't know. The issues of being a content creator, see? At least I don't have to worry about camera settings and stuff like that. You will never see a face cam on this channel. Don't you worry. Face cams drive me crazy. The only games where face cams are acceptable are games that are like chess or something, where you can still follow the game in a smaller square. But like a racing game or something, I don't want your face in front of the action, or even worse, if it's like an action game of some kind. Like if I'm playing an RPG or something, I don't want your face blocking half of the action or a fifth of the action. And in racing games, people shrink the game so that they can put their face cam and then their hand cam for the wheel, and then a foot cam for the pedals, and then maybe a cat cam or something too, or an over-the-shoulder cam, and like, oh, I want to see what you're. I want to actually see the racing. I don't want to see your feet. Jeez, your socks are cool, but I could do without the foot cam. All right, folks, I am back at the service, which means it's time to take a quick break on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, that is going to be it for this YouTube episode. The next YouTube episode will be out the next weekday afternoon at 12 U.S. Central Time. That is afternoon, right? It'll be noon U.S. Central Time, which if you're typing... No, wait. Not weekday. Did I say weekday? No, that's SnowRunner weekdays. I was talking about SnowRunner. Dirt Rally. I'm playing Dirt Rally. Dirt Rally will be out next Saturday. Comes out every Saturday, with some exceptions, at noon U.S. Central Time. Which is, if you're typing that in, I live in Minnesota, but don't type Minnesota, type Iowa. Which is 1800 hours, 6 p.m. in the UK, and 0600 hours the next day in New Zealand. So, for those of you on Twitch, I'm going to take a very, very short break. Maybe not even a break at all. If you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, next episode. Either way, thank you much for watching, and I will see you then.